you want to opt out of the first part of this, so you can look for it if you want to, you can. First of all, I want to let everyone know. Joining us this morning at 9 a.m., we will close our social media and continue on Zoom only. Join us by getting your Zoom link at elizabethvisionaryconference.org. We'll be there until 10 a.m. You can join us now, and we'll see you in the Elizabeth Zoom room. Today, your hosts are Mama Ayaba Bay and Mama Hawa Asaseya.
Asaseya.
Enjoy. Okay, first of all, we're going to dance this morning. So get up off your keisters. And there's two ways we're going to do this. I'm going to start you off. It's called improvisation. And then I'm going to leave you alone, meaning when you're ready, you just go on and do your own improv. The other part of it is, if you don't want to stand, you can sit on the floor, but then your dance movements are going to be from the floor. No one can opt out. Now, I can't see everybody. I can only see 5 people with you. No, 4 people. So it's an ancient Indian piece, raga piece from, they're going to use Taj Mahal as a background. So everybody up. Can you all see me okay?
Yes. Do you want the video showing or just the music?
I don't know.
Because you can put, if you can put everybody on gallery so that you can see everybody.
Yes.
Okay, let me see everybody.
Look on, up in the corner.
Up here?
Yeah, in the right corner where it says view.
Gallery. Oh, yeah. Y'all is.
There he is.
Hawa, wear your red.
Got my red on. It's red and orange.
Okay, all right.
The root and the second.
No, don't be telling nobody.
Okay, I think that's why I said the second. I just didn't.
Okay.
Don't tell the secret. Let me get the music up here.
We got some men in the group. I understand we got some brothers. So the sisters are going to be moving like they're flowing like the water, and the brothers can go.
Well, the brothers aren't here yet.
Well, whenever they come, they ain't here, so they can't hear what I said. All right, let's roll it, girls.
What you doing with your hips?
What hips? Oh,
the hips on your body.
I don't know what you're gonna do.
Because I know you were supposed to flow, but just move.
All right, this is the purpose of this is to work this part. Okay, that's the part you focus on.
What we working? Are we twerking this morning?
Oh. But here, and here.
Okay. All right, Star, you got, she might be indisposed right now.
Lift your back, lift your head, lift your arm, lean to whatever side. Bend your knees. Up. Down. Feel it in your shoulders, in your low back. Faster moves. Then your knees go down, go down, go down, come up. Like a smoothie. Reach up. Hips to the left, right. Can you feel it? Come on, twist them body.
It's working.
Let's swing from side to side. Twist. Yeah, there you go. Twist it. Gonna come around like this. Round, up, round, go down, round, go down. Move from side to side, like this.
Ah.
Stretch your legs open. Lift, drop. Lift, drop. Lift,
Lift,
drop.
drop.
When you lift, I want you to feel it right here in the inner side of your thigh. Drop. Push your butt out. Bring your butt in. Lift. Stretch. Stretch. Now put your hands behind your back like this. Over. Stretch your right leg from your knee to the belly. Stretch. Feel it in your knees. Feel it in your thighs. Close your eyes, whatever you want to do. Just move that body. Twist your hips. Twist down, twist up. Listen to the music. Duty, if that woman comes on, just keep it playing.
All right, ladies, you gotta join in.
Good morning. Oh, peace rising. Namaste. At the pool. My yacht. Hotel. We're waking the hips up. We're waking the kundalini up. If you don't feel anything moving, you're not alive. That's it. Wake it all up. That's it. Start your day.
I see you doing the gone, girl, working. You know where you come from.
That's my Egyptian move, y'all. My
Good
Egyptian.
morning, Allison. Tell you, this
Now I
works.
want you to ease down and just rock. Up and down and side to side. Be smooth, like you just the wind.
I heard something popping.
You showed it.
It felt good though.
Oh, girl. I want your hands right here. On your thigh, reach your pelvic bone. So many women just scared to touch these things.
Are you acting up, mama?
What, baby?
I said, are you acting up over there? I heard you laughing.
All the way to go. All right, wind it down. Wind
day.
All right.
Good day, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Mm.
Oh, that was good. Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna do that every Wednesday.
Thank you.
We got a treat for you today. And that's how you get started. Waking up. Can I tell them now?
Sure.
Okay, that's how you're activating and waking up your chakras.
Chakra.
Kundalini energy.
Mm-hmm.
Mama Queen Ayaba Bay, what are you drinking? I saw that cup.
A mixture of sweet and sour.
Ooh, okay.
Lemon and ginger tea. Ashwagandha.
And ashwagandha.
Yes.
I am having, well, see, Queen, I do have my red cup.
Hey, man, look at that. See, I'm dressed in red. I got my red clothes on.
And we'll tell you why. But what I'm drinking is a simple lavender bud tea.
All right.
Hey, advertise and show my herbs.
What is ashwagandha?
Ashwagandha is a herb that's, you can get it in a powder form or you can get it in a bark, but it's like, it helps your brain to chill out and for you to relax. Not like relax for sleep, but relax just for your nervous system to just be at one with peace. Yeah.
Can somebody spell it for me? And where do I get it? Where can I get some? Where do I get it? I want some. Because I got the lemon and the ginger going on here.
Well, they're not in Detroit, so.
Along with other conditions. Wait a minute. I'll spell it out for you.
Thank you.
Because it's. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Because I want to spell it right. Ashwagandha. ASHWAGANDHA. Ashwagandha.
Okay.
Before we take another step into why we're dressed in this red colors today, first I would like to define my understanding of the Elizabeths. We are a collective of melanin women, past life high priestesses, returning to share a garden of ideas and information dedicated to help us all live the life we have designed through our heart's desires. What a blessing to dwell in the sacred place, your mind. To have your thoughts and feelings directed by the Spirit of God, you pass on the wisdom place where you share with the Spirit of God. Your mind is the sacred place. It is a sacred act to follow the word of God, honor your divinity and your destiny by the way you live your life. The Book of Changes says that life is always changing in the same direction towards divinity. How do you all feel after the movement? Don't you feel higher? Don't you feel, there you go. That's the feeling that I want to see you carrying inside of yourself. Somebody can come in and talk and bull crap and you still do just like you're doing right now. Because it ain't got nothing to do with you.
Because it releases. We hold so much. It's releasing and it's shaking it off and it's letting it go.
My kitchen is my cauldron and my womb. Many ideas are birthed and grown in the kitchen. One of the byproducts of the United States lifestyle is to get you out of the kitchen quickly. Frozen foods, pre-made fast foods, pre-made rolls. If you're not living in your dream, then you are dying in your dream. You say you go through God to get what you want. People say that, you know, I pray, I go, I ask God. You say God is, boom, boom, boom. You say God is with you. God is holding your hand. God is holding you up. But my question is, if God is holding you up, who's holding up God?
That's right. That's right. Who's manifesting the God? Who's making the God move?
Hawa,
Yes.
take it, baby.
Yeah, because I'm waiting on the answer for that.
You are, we are, because God moves in and through us. If I walk down the street,
Okay.
if I grab your hand, I'm holding your hand, but what are you doing? You holding my hand.
Yeah,
Got it?
got it.
God's love is how will people see God's love? They only can see it through eye and eye.
Yeah.
And they want to put all the work on God.
Yeah.
You got to do some work too.
Because
So
my
it's hand in
question is,
hand.
who ever seen God? Have you seen God?
I'm
Anybody
looking
ever
at
seen
1,
God?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
All
I
of you
see,
have.
I see my God in the mirror.
That's one way.
Mhm.
Looking in the face of a baby.
Mhm.
That's
Oh
your
my
God.
God, yeah.
Yeah, oh my
I
God.
see
She said,
your-
oh my God. That
But
first
when
time
I'm
you
scrolling down, when I'm
Yeah.
scrolling down Facebook and a baby comes and you could be like, and the baby comes, you go, oh,
Ah.
I see God in Mommy Nature.
I
you
was
go,
gonna
yeah.
say that. There you go.
mommy,
There you go.
nature, yes.
Every living thing. I'm gonna tell you somewhere else, you all may not think of it. See God in a homeless person.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
When I pass a homeless person, I've already made my commitment that if I got $1, they got it. Because I know that's God testing me. Oh, you all loving and you all generous and you all kind, where you only to certain people,
Mm.
you see. So
Yeah.
I don't want to take it up, I can go on. Come on, Howard. Pump it up.
Hey.
Why we got on red? Why do we have on red today?
Because we're gonna get into the chakras. We're gonna go easy with 7 chakras, but today we're gonna start with the first and second chakra.
What are they?
And you got me trying to pronounce this.
The root
Hey,
chakra.
The root chakra, but no, give the name, Mama.
No.
Okay, the second chakra,
No.
the sacral chakra. Can I get out of that?
No.
Mulahara. Okay, she trying to
Yes,
get me to. So
Mulahara.
she trying to. I
Mulahara.
did it.
You just said it.
See, I be beating myself up working too hard, and it just came out. The Mulahara chakra, the first chakra, the red chakra, the second chakra. Oh gee, the second chakra.
Don't think about it.
Okay, Swahisna. Oh, see, she putting on. She calling me out
All
now.
right, what is it before you try to say that word?
It's the sacral chakra, the second chakra, the orange chakra.
And what is its function?
Oh, we'll get to it. To feel.
Swadhisthana.
Swadhisthana. We'll spell all this out for you, but these are the 2 chakras that we're focusing on. And
or type it out in the
oh yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay, will do.
You got it?
I'll type it out.
Okay. While she's typing, one of the things that's very close to me about the root chakra is the trust component of our inner being. We've grown up in a really backwards kind of world. Not the world, but the United States of America and its uneducating system. People think, a lot of times we think that what we are responding to is coming from the head. A lot of times the way we respond to things is coming from some slowed up movements in the chakras or damage to any of the nerves in the areas of the various and different chakras. So I see you, sister, in your red.
I say, bring that energy in. Okay.
So that's one of the things we want to help to do. Every week, we're going to do a different chakra to help us understand that we have to look beyond the so-called intellectual response. They've got all kinds of negative terminologies for things that, there you go, for things that people go through. Go ahead, Hawa.
No, I was just showing, like, you may sit here and say, what is chakra? And chakras are basically, it's energy. It's basically a disc or a wheel that moves up and down the body. And hold on, I want to show my picture here because I'm doing my homework, but being a visionary type person, chakras is like gears or energy wheels that move spirals up the body, through the body, all the way up to the tip or the top of the head, the crown chakra.
I like those wheels. Where you get the wheels from? I
Oh,
like that. I like that.
yeah, I looked it up and switched and turned them all around to go vertical. Yeah, I did my little magic. These wheels or discs, they spin energy that correlate with the nerves in a bundle and with the major organs. To function at their best, your chakras need to stay open and balanced. If they're blocked, stagnated, or shut down, you may experience physical or emotional symptoms relating to that particular chakra. And right now we're on the first chakra, and the first chakra is hold on. Oh, it's like our grounding chakra. It represents the element earth. You jump in there, Queen
Right,
Ayaba.
now you must be feeling me. The root
Yeah.
chakra rules our core human issues: identity, safety, security, comfort, physical roots, basic needs, air, water, food, care, and our physical body. So if you're a person who don't know why you're eating so much, it could be because your root chakra may have been damaged or is not in alignment with the rest of your chakra system. Go ahead, I saw that picture. Go ahead.
Each chakra has an affirmation. And when Ayaba was describing, this is the this is the affirmation for this root chakra is I am.
I am.
I is you and am is the action. I am. And it's located at the base of the spine. And this is the survival chakra. This is the chakra that if your needs are not met, if you don't have your stability, since it's a earth, the element is earth. So if you're not stable and secure in your needs, then this is the chakra that will it will spin out in a sense. This is where all our basic instincts arrive. The need to survive, the need to protect, the need to fight or flight, reflex. It works those reflexes. When these chakras meet your needs, then you feel safe and you feel grounded.
Remember when the COVID thing came out, one of the things they said you would lose was your sense of smell? Well, the first chakra corresponds to your sense of smell. You look and you ask yourself, well, you cannot necessarily ask, but observe that people were feeling disconnected. People were feeling insecure. People were feeling nervous and afraid. Sitting comfortably with your spine elongated, bring your attention to the tip of your nose. That was another area that they said the COVID affected. Rosewood, rosemary, cedar, sandalwood, ginger, thyme, basil, and sage are essential oils that activate Mutlahara energy. Burn these herbs as incense and use their essential oils in natural products. Once again, rosewood, rosemary, cedar. And back when I was a little girl, all the Black people had cedar closets. They had cedar closets or cedar chests,
Mhm.
sandalwood, ginger. Listen to this. This is what the people in the West Indies cook with. Thyme, Thyme, basil. And I think I heard somebody say earlier, burn sage. Sage are essential oils that do what? Activate the Muladhara energy. So if you feeling or you're experiencing the feeling of insecurity, fear, not feeling like who are you and why you do what you do, or maybe you don't like the way you are, your identity crisis you may be having, you're not comfortable, your basic needs aren't being met, air, water, food, care. Burn these different essences that I just listed, put them in your food and eat them, and begin to work the magic that we say we know about. Yes, ma'am.
Also, what she listed, these herbs, they have their own spiritual powers and properties, but they are how can I describe it? Looking at like ginger, they are spicy, they're active. And that's what red is. Red is action. There you go. I see you. What's the name of that? What's the name of that oil?
That's
Ginger.
ginger.
That's ginger?
Ginger.
That you got to handle gentle, because it's really, especially in the oil, you need to use a carrier oil. Don't ever use these oils without a carrier oil. A carrier oil is another oil to kind of cut it, because it can be pungent. It could be a little harsh on sensitive skin, but these activate the red. Also, to activate and align your root chakra is to wear red. Sister Evelyn went over there and she put her red on, but it helped. It helped align you. It helped ground you. It, like I said, I go back to my elements. It's earth. So if you're feeling spirally, walk the earth barefoot. That's activating and working on your root chakra. The root chakra help us to feel grounded and connected with the earth. It gives us a place for our life to be, to take roots, a sense of belonging, a sense of being, and the flow of energy to propel us forward in our journey. And back to red, surround yourself with red, but too much red can overdo it too, you know. And but different shades of red, even pink, you know, you can put your pink on. All that activates the root chakra.
I see Star has on her red.
Oh, Star have on her red.
And
There you go. Oh, look at there. Star,
Okay.
tell us about your shirt. Queen Aduni told me earlier. Take it off. Take your.
No, I can see it.
Yeah, take your shirt off. No.
No.
No, don't take your shirt off. Love is, who is that on there?
That's my mother, my aunt, and my aunt's husband.
All right.
Oh, nice.
They're bringing in the ancestors. They're bringing in the ancestors. Mhm.
Love is family. Love is joy and peace with your family.
Yes.
Now, I want to show you something about this war.
No, Allison got her red on. She didn't grab the.
Look at there. Bring in the red. There you go.
Hearts too. Love. Look at that big smile on her face. See, we activate. We got to learn how to be the magicians and the priestesses that we are. We learn this stuff. It's not just for your intellectual stimulation. It is for your activation. So looking at this war that some people have had against melanin people. One of the things when I was growing up, you ain't wearing no red. I don't know how it worked out where you all came from. No, you black people don't wear no red. No, you can't wear no red. No red shoes. My mother told me she would never buy me a pair of red shoes. So you know the first color shoes I bought when I had money.
Was red.
My father, he dared me never to put red on. And red was like a bad word.
Right.
Yeah.
Did anybody else have that experience when you were growing up in your area? Or maybe that was a down south thing, huh?
Yeah, but one of the things, and especially for our brothers in anyway, is that you don't buy a red car because you know, if you're already black and you get, you know, and you had a fancy car, oh, and don't have red because you attract attention.
Yeah.
That red, they're gonna see that red anywhere. And then if it's a Lamborghini, oh, you're getting stopped. You're just getting stopped because it's red. It's an attention getter.
It's erotic. And for women back then, they would say that, you know, it's like you're calling this to my, you know, calling yourself attention to yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of the, I don't know, like the madams and the
that was actually the external reason. But look at this from a spiritual warfare.
Yes.
But you know, interesting enough, in my father's celebration of life service, my whole family, his children, we all wore red. So I have a whole outfit. I had a hat and everything was red. So this is interesting. We're talking about this because his name was red.
Oh, well.
Right. Exactly. So y'all.
But look at the energy behind red. Red is energy. Red is power. You want to go to a meeting, you put that red suit on. I never forgot when I brought my first red suit. After all the things that was put in my head about red, I knew red had to be something good about red. I put that red suit on. It was a bolt of confidence. And
that's why they didn't want you to wear it.
That's right.
Like, this is what I want to share with you all is the hidden things. The obvious things is always in our face, but what's behind what they do, what's behind how we respond to what they do, and what conditioning has taken place within us because of these socialization processes and conditioning that has happened to us, right? Emotions and feelings that block the Muladhara chakra include the big one: fear, anxiety disorders. Come on, this is a whole Black community. Fear, panic, worry, insecurity, depression, anger, and rage. Now take that away from there and say, what are some of the conditioning that in the Black community that runs rampant throughout the Black community? Fear, anxiety disorders,
the angry Black woman,
worry, right, insecurity, depression, anger, and rage. So now look at that and see how they removed the thing that could cause us or help us to have the power that we need to stop these emotions that block the Muladhara chakra. Gotta be science. We're scientists now. We have to be scientific. What is the root chakra responsible for? I said this earlier, but now I'm saying it to you in connection with our history, this racial war that's been going on since they first looked at us. The root chakra rules our core human issues. Identity. Come on now. That's the number one thing they done mess with us on. That ain't the word I wanted to use, but I gotta keep
That's all right. It's working.
That's the identity. Our ancestors were one thing. I'm old enough. I've gone through the colored person, the Negro. Now I'm at the Black person, but I'm still the same person. So who's identifying me? See, safety. We used to tell my mother that back in the day. No, I don't. Back in the day, mothers and fathers would tell their children, especially the son, don't be out here in the street after the lights go down. And for God's sake, don't be in a white neighborhood. Safety, security, with the very, very strong lack of the flow of money throughout the Black community. Our security has been challenged. Our comfort, many of us want to live one way, but we are forced to live another way because of lack of this, that, or the other. Physical roots. We didn't even know we were connected to Africa. Not in my generation, when I was growing up as a little girl. After 1965, in the 60s and the 70s and all the way up, then we knew about Africa. Then I changed everything. I threw away all my American clothes, the whole 9 yards. Basic needs, air, water, food, and care, and our physical body. I just want to point this out to you all that, yeah, we're talking about the chakras, but let's look at what has happened to us as a collective of people on
And
the
how the root
planet.
chakra, how we're affected.
Yes, yes. Go ahead, sis.
Can I just slip in there? Can I just slip in there that not only spiritually and mentally and emotionally, these things, the society have affected us, but the root chakra is associated with the renal gland, it's associated with our colon, it's associated with our kidneys, our skeleton, our skeletal system, our muscles, our arteries, blood, red. But that's in connection with the insecurity, the need for protection, the anger. All these organs are associated with what she's talking about. That fight flight mode.
Would you do me a favor and relist those organs just one more time so people can either write it down or at least have it in their mind? Could you list them again?
The root chakra associate with the physical body. That includes the renal glands that sits on top of the kidneys, the colon, skeletal system, bones, muscles, our artery / blood.
And I will add to that. I want to add to that. You see how many dialysis places are sprouting up all around near the Black community? They say they're doing it to make it convenient for our people to get the treatment. But
not only the dialysis, is the blood banks.
The blood banks. None of these things are by accident. It doesn't matter whether it's being done by a conscious level or whether people are being driven. We're spirit first. So you have to know what spiritual energy is acting on you. It's compacting your life, your way you think, the way you see things. Now that we've had this little small part of the discussion, raise your hand if you can feel, sense, or see the connection now between the things that have happened to us externally that we had no idea was affecting the way we act. Yes, that's then I have done my job. I can go home now and go sleep. What we want you to do is to visualize. Start using your inner eye to visualize your spinal column, to visualize the spiritual aspect of your spinal column, which Hawa mentioned earlier, the kundalini, the energy that flows up and down, like going up and down the steps, stairway to heaven. A lot of stuff we think is that's not just a song. The complex chakra system originated in ancient India. With that, let's Mama Hawa has something she wants to say. I would like to ask Queen Aduni to show that information about that came from PBS about India. See, it says here, the complex chakra system originated in ancient India. And I'm getting ready to show you by evidence and proof of research that was done that eventually showed up on PBS television.
On PBS, it mentioned that what was it?
1,000
yeah, 70,000.
years ago.
Yeah. African had migrated
Yeah.
to the lower part of India, but Africa brought this along with them. So really, when we say we're studying the chakras and chakras Hindu, chakras started with us. Now, Queen, I didn't print off the story. I said I was going to read it, but if you can remember some of it, that it was who it was by PBS. What was the name of the?
The guy, I don't know his first name, but it's Mr. Woods was his last name. I think Queen Aduni might have it. However, it basically said that 70,000 years ago, the Indus Kush Valley was established by the people who migrated from the place we call Africa, which is not its name, but it's a compliment from the Greeks because the word Africa means skin of God. Yes, that's what it means, Star. Skin of God.
So they didn't know that they were giving us a compliment.
Yeah, they knew.
Oh, they did. Oh, they were trying to
people,
bamboozle us then, huh?
No.
They knew it.
Yeah, the people back in those days, like the Greeks, I'm talking about the Romans, the ancient Greeks. Remember, they had many scholars. They went to study in Africa. They went to study the sciences and the mathematics. All those folks whose names we learned in school, we didn't learn no African names. They went to Africa to study. And with some of them, Socrates, I believe it was, no, Plato, came back and they killed him. So you have to remember that there are people who want to know and want to learn, and they are just amazed at the things they find to learn. They may not give you the support. They may not say you did it, but somewhere in their notes, you will see that our ancestors were recognized for their intellect, their knowledge, their mysticism, all that stuff. So when they was trying to find a word for who are these people with this color, and they come up with skin of God, that must be the skin of God. So everything that we have been feeling negatively about ourselves was compounded because of their fear of God. You know, God, Dad, why you didn't give us that? But whatever the history is of the different colorations around the world, when you study and you look at anthropological research for any of those countries, including China, you will see that when they go back as far as they can go, the people look like eye and eye. And they don't hide it, they just don't show it. You know? So if you go to the martial arts school, my baby's father is a master ninja, and he took us to various places to see things. And always in the back of the temple, there were the black statues. Yeah. So we'll have a lot to be, I don't want to use pride because it say pride goes before a fall, but we have a lot to be happy for. We have a lot to rejoice about as we sprout up out of the ground of fear, anxiety, and lack of knowledge. You understand me? Madonna and Child are black, dark as coal. That's correct. That's Mama had her root to everyone. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Yes. So we don't have to brag, well, we're very humble people when you really get down to it. And the dancing, like we just did some dancing, and I say on your own, just make your own movements. You didn't have who was your teacher? Who was teaching you to make the moves you were making? It came from your inner spirit, your inner self, your ancestors, if you will. We have to become the examples of fearlessness. So we definitely have to work on our Muladhara chakra. Right, Hawa?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. When we move in that way with the lower, with our hips, with our glutes, with our thighs, you're actually going through your, how you say, your therapy, your morning, I call it a morning ritual because I dance every morning. And my neighbor, he said, I saw you over there dancing, but I've been in the yard dancing, but I'm not dancing just to be dancing. I'm dancing to release, to activate, to set in motion. Remember, I said that this was the I am stage. The lower is the I am.
Bring it closer, a little bit closer. Yeah, there you go.
But I'm just gonna just do this just to show you that each chakra has its affirming or affirmation. So to say that, to say in the morning time, you affirm yourself. I am grounded. I am well. I am beautiful. Let's see.
Peaceful.
I say we can keep going. You can,
Yeah,
I am safe.
yeah.
Throw some
Yeah.
I ams in there. Come on,
Yeah,
everybody.
Doug,
Throw
you
some-
and say, come on, everybody throw in
Yeah. I am grounded. I am at home. I am centered. I don't
I
hear
am
nobody.
protected.
I am healthy.
Say it. Say what you
I'm
want to
healthy.
happen.
I
Say it.
am healthy.
I am abundance.
I am
I
fearless.
am fine.
Say it. Say it. I am loved.
I am trusting.
That's it. Come on.
I am
I am
strong.
infinite. I am the divine.
I am the living word.
Mm,
Ashe. Mhm.
mm.
But
I have a saying where I said that I am two words that can either make or break you, depending on what you yourself put on the other side.
All right.
beautiful. Say that again. Repeat that. I like that.
I am two words that can either make or break you, depending on what you yourself put on the other side.
So
All right.
true.
So
All
can't
right.
nobody tell you who you are but you.
That's
Right.
God.
That's right. Naming and claiming it.
Mhm.
That's what you're doing.
Mm.
So all this is resonating, it's activating, it's setting how you want your day in motion. I want to show another. This is the 4 petals. See, each chakra, like I said earlier, it turns on its disc or its wheel, or I say gear, because my creative mind, I can see the gears turning. But this one has 4 petals. And the 4 petals, it means the state of mind. It's mind, intellect, consciousness, and ego. All that is housed down in the root chakra. The middle, the center, is a triangle, upside down. This represents the wound and everything that it housed. It's the center. And to tell you the truth, we start with the root chakra because the root chakra is the base, it's the foundation, it's the earth, it's the stability. So we're starting with the root chakra, and the root chakra, like I said, it holds so much. And once you can start freeing yourself, then you can move on to the next, and it leads into enlightenment. But right now, this is the area or the chakra of work. This is the chakra that you have to really, after aligning all the chakras, you still have to go back to the root chakra, the foundation chakra. You mentioned, Queen, about the oils for the chakra, the root chakra. I have different yoga poses that you can go into, and everybody can do them. And one is just laying flat on your back, your knees up to your chest, and you wrap your arms around your knee, and you just lay flat, and you slowly rock, and you feel. I get my clients to do this. I do like a very slow flow with my yoga, and because I want you to feel. And so you're laying flat, and you're got your knees wrapped around, your arms wrapped around your knees, and you just slowly rock, and you slowly rock. And what that doing is it's pressing on the spine, the Kundalini, it's freeing up some stuff. It's aligning. When you lie flat, you become aligned. Your spine becomes more aligned. Another pose is head to knee. Oh, the child pose. On your knees, your head or forehead touch the ground. You can spread your knees a little bit. And you're just going, I'm sorry, I meant to have pictures. And you're just taking this body and you're just going down. This is the head. And it opens up the pelvis. It opens up the tail part of the spine. And that's the beginning. And they say that this releases the serpent to open up the body. Squatting, the goddess squat, but just going down fat, feet flat into a squat. That's opening. That's
Mama Hawa,
yes.
let me check one thing. Nawili, are you in a position that you can demonstrate what she's saying?
Now, Willie, you there? Oh,
Yes.
we'll be back. Oh,
Yes.
oh, Queen, can you
Yes. Okay.
can you
let me-
demonstrate for me?
Okay, let me see. You guys can see me? Oh no, you can't.
No, not yet.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Now can y'all see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you show a child's pose?
Okay. I'm trying to hold the phone and do it.
Oh, okay. But
me
she's
put
on
it-
her knees and
Okay,
she's
let me
going
put it
down.
up.
Okay, yeah, I want to see a side view.
Yeah, and can you give us a little more light, baby?
Okay.
I know
Just
we
one
caught you off guard, so thanks for
I appreciate it.
accommodating. And while she's pulling that together, we have some guests on here. Brother, you have to excuse me because all these names drive me crazy. No, they don't. They don't drive me crazy.
Okay, she's showing us there.
Okay, you there? I'm gonna pin you.
That's
down.
okay.
Okay, good.
Al-Kebelon, sister. Brother Al-Kebelon.
Kebalan. Yeah, thank you.
Greetings.
Welcome.
Okay. I'm getting it together here.
Okay, Mama Hetoru, she's showing the first one. And this
Okay,
is laying flat on your back. I appreciate you. Much love. Flat on your back, your knees to the chest. And yeah, rocking. There you go. Rocking on that spine is good too. That's it. Just rock all the way up to the shoulders. There you go. Almost to a plow pose. Yes. And then just wrapping your arms around your knees, squeezing towards your chest, and slowly go slow because you want to feel. Go slow. That's it. And feel slow. And feel. All right. Okay. Now, Mama Nawili, she's all set now. And child's pose. Beautiful. See, it opens up the low chakra area. It opens up the tailbone to the spine. That's it, Hetoru. That's it. And you can bring your arms forward too. Slide them slowly forward.
And if it's difficult sometimes to sit back on your heels like that, you can roll up a blanket, take some of the pressure right here, right behind the lymph nodes and the knees, take the pressure off of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you can comfortably.
There. In our yoga practice, this is what we go for when we want to just to recenter ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is just a simple lotus.
Isn't there a third one Okay, Mama Hetheru did the first one and Nawili did the third one. Wasn't there one in between?
Oh, you were sitting, oh, you were saying
Oh,
flat.
the squat.
Squat.
Yes, yes. It's called the goddess squat. And there you go. There, you see, it's opening up. We hide from this area. We're taught to be shameful of this area, but no, you got to open it up. And beautiful Heteru,
And again,
beautiful Nawili.
under the heels, you could put up a blanket or the little yoga blocks. If you can't get it flat to begin with.
There. Oh, I love you. There you go. But just this position, it helps open up the lower chakra. And tell them what you feel. You feel that back. There you go. Now that's the goddess squat, the true goddess squat. Yes. If you two sisters can just explain what you feel.
Free.
Yeah.
Very, especially with those, oh. go
What
on, Mama.
muscles are we working on? We're working on, what muscle do you feel? The inner, that's it. That's it,
Inside
not really.
groin. And I especially like, because I know this is also activating those lymph nodes that are right there in the groin that are so important.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna give one more, and no, two more. The mountain pose.
What are you saying?
Mountain.
Mountain. This is
My
the simple mountain
brother
pose.
was saying something. You have to unmute yourself, babe.
Me?
Paper hit it.
Oh,
The sensitive computer.
yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say the Native American people, the people who still live on the continent, people from East India, the Asiatic people, Chinese, Taiwanese, Thailand, all of those people still squat. Only those of us who've been influenced and affected by the Western mind people stop squatting.
Mm.
I squat to work in my
Back
garden.
to the squat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, didn't they,
Hawa,
when they
mountain.
delivered babies, wasn't it through a squatting?
Correct. Because
Yeah.
which way gravity?
Now you're off.
What'd you
Now
say?
you're muted, Howard.
Oh, I am?
No, she's not.
No.
That's
But
how I delivered my,
Still can't hear you.
but that's the original way.
I delivered Isis like that. Haru
Well, I
held
can't hear her. Can y'all
and
hear her?
Yeah, we hear her.
What happened?
Go ahead,
But-
Mama. Heath.
But gravity, you see which way gravity pulls.
Queen
You don't go
Aduna,
this
can
way.
you hear? I can't hear her.
Can you hear? Oh my, what is up?
Check your volume.
just turn it off and turn it back on. Turn your volume mute and then unmute. Just do it twice.
I can't hear anybody.
Mm.
Testing, testing, 1, 2. Mic check, mic check.
Hello?
Hello.
You can't hear us, Queen? Oh,
But go out and
Why-
come in.
yeah, go out and come in again. While she's working on that, Queen Aduni mentioned that delivering, that they used to deliver babies that way. That is the correct way. Because which way do gravity pull? It don't pull this way.
Yeah.
Pulls this way.
Mm-hmm.
So the delivery, I bet, is easy. Heteru, you there? Hey, now, Wheelie, I see you still in the corpse. Still in the mountain pose. How about, what is it? Well, just doing a simple corpse pose, but is there another one that opens up the lower chakra that you can think of?
Can't hear.
It's not the, is it penguin?
Pigeon.
Pigeon, that's it. Pigeon. To go in that pose, well, that pose is on the floor, one leg bent. There you go, Heteru, show them. There. Back leg, by doing this, stretches that area. And you're I like, that's it, you're sitting on your legs. One in front and one, and I'm sure is an alternative to that one.
It better be, because I can't get that.
But that's beautiful, just to open up that area.
So one leg is back. Okay, I can.
Yes, that's
see it.
right, turn to the side,
Oh, Lord.
there. And then you can either rest on your elbows, or you can put your hands down and rest on your head. There.
Can
That,
you
that's just a,
feel it?
Also, I think, you
can you
know,
hear us, Queen? Oh,
Wow.
now, Willie, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, I think cow pose, especially when you bring your legs,
Yes,
or they call it tabletop, I think.
or a tabletop, but cow pose is when you sink and drop
Yeah.
the middle
Up into cat.
into cat. That's a good stretch for along the spine. You're sinking and you're looking up and your tailbone is up, but you drop the middle. And that's the cat, where you're pushing against the sky. That's it, and the head is dropped. And just doing these poses, yes, but I like slow flow. I like you to feel it. And what do you feel when you're doing these poses? It's like, what is the body saying? What is the language? That's it. And like Heteru, you listen to the body. The body said, ooh, I think I like that. So the body will sway. That's like the dance we were doing. We moved our hips and we swayed. My. I don't know how I can help her.
Oh, I'm typing to go out, and there's a, when she comes in, it should be a box that says she can test her volume and the volume in particular. So maybe.
Maybe she's trying to bring it up on her phone.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would help.
And just check and make sure you didn't hit your mute button for your volume on your device as well, because sometimes I do that by mistake. Or just go out and come back in, Mama.
She did that. She
She
came
did
back.
that.
Still tripping.
Yeah.
Whenever we talk about important stuff, boy, be do.
I know, try to shut you down, but that's okay. We're gonna keep rolling through all of this.
And
She'll
then
be back.
butterfly.
She'll be back up. Would you say
And
now,
then
Willie? Oh,
butterfly.
butterfly. See how it's opening up the pelvis area? You feel it in the thigh crease. You feel it in your cis bone. You feel it. All this is grounding. This is proper alignment for the root chakra when you want to ground, or you want that energy to be pulled and things to be released. Beautiful. And she did the butterfly where she took her knees and went up and down. That's called the butterfly. Yeah. Heteru, she's rocking with it. She's holding her feet, and you can take yourself forward and squeeze. And what do you feel? You feel it all in your tailbone. Mm-hmm. Hey, I lost a lot of cushion. I don't know if I can still do that one. Beautiful.
Yeah, I do that on the floor.
And the corpse pose. The corpse pose, just laying there. Your palms are up. Just facing up to receive. And just laying there. Believe it or not, you're working. This position here is being activated. It's being open. The spine is being aligned.
Hey, Mama, I like to use that one. When I used to work in the schools, I would put half the class asleep. I'd have them do a few poses and put them in course pose. Girl, teachers would come by, like, Miss House, what you do to them kids? Hey, hey, don't worry about it. They would be out.
I taught art for about 14 years, and I left the public school system because I didn't care how they graded our future potential children. You know, somebody had to fail. So I left that and I started working at the Boys and Girls Club. I give my shout out and kudos to the Boys and Girls Club in our inner city. And the children were running the room all rough, and you know how children enter a room. And I'll sit there and I'd say, empty your hands and put them in your lap. I said, I want you to open your hands, palms up. I want you to take a breath in. And everybody's like, oh, Miss Hawa, what? I said, take a deep breath in. And I said, when you release, I want you to, and I want you to keep doing it till you can feel it resonate right in here. And so when I go to my classroom, I don't think about it, and the children come in, there'll be one or two that will say, Miss Hawa. They're like little sponges, boy. They first will fight me on it, then after a while, they be correcting me on it. All right, Queen, let's see. She busy doing all kind of stuff.
Well, I couldn't hear.
Yay! You back. Can you hear now?
Yeah, on my phone.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Cool. Okay. Queen, take over.
Well,
It's
we
9
covered,
o'clock.
huh?
It's 9 o'clock.
We're not on social media at this moment, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
And I would like Mama Ayaba for our guests to introduce themselves and whenever you get a moment and show
That was
themselves
good.
on the screen.
Yes, now it's good.
Okay. So we have, I tell you what, if we can have everybody come on screen, then that way everybody can be seen. We have some guests and we have some brothers, some handsome brothers coming on.
Welcome, Kings.
Ashe, ashe.
Okay.
Whoever's the two phones, are you able to show yourself? 202-607 and the other one is 240-300. Need you show yourselves or say something, give us a voice.
He stepped away.
Not that quickly. Let me
Come out wherever you are.
wherever you are. And I want to tell Allison that I think I called you up this morning because I played 3 of your songs, 2 of you performing. No, all 3 of you performing. Don't you want to dance? Don't you want to dance? And what was the other one? Left a good job in the city. She was jamming, y'all. She was jamming. And then she showed up this morning. So I know the power. And the power of music too. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
We have the other brothers up.
I don't, okay.
Malak,
Greetings at the
how you
pool.
pronounce your name?
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, brother.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
The water, thank you, thank you.
Mhm. You are a guest of Empress?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Well,
Okay.
others are, but we're gonna move on now that we got Mama Ayaba back in stride again.
Yes, that's my song. Back in stride again. So when we have energetic blocks and imbalances in our system and engage in detrimental habits that block us from assessing our natural vitality, we end up feeling exhausted, scattered, what's that word? Bored, or even sick. I brought that up to point out the fact that sometimes when we think we're sick, we're having some issues in our chakra system. In other words, our wheels might not be turning at their proper rate. So from this day forward, and we will be revisiting this every Wednesday, because we want to help our people to recognize where our issues are coming from. And even though we may not think it's political, it's definitely historical.
Ashe.
Anybody got any comment they want to add to that? You see, I grew up in a place called Richmond, Virginia, and I grew up in an area called Church Hill. So when I was in Church Hill, everybody lived over there looked like me. So when you see women walking, you walked like them. Nobody taught you how to walk like people walk. But then when I went downtown, where was mostly the other people, they walked very stiff. You know, they didn't have that movement in the sacral area. They didn't move their hips like that. But see, we walk to a rhythm. I want us to begin to not take an attitude that these things aren't important, because as you have seen today, when you do the exercises that open up those chakra areas, it also eliminates what the scientists or the doctors call psychological problems. We don't have psychological problems. We have chakra issues.
Mm.
We hold ourselves back so the wheels don't turn. Have you ever seen, or maybe you've done this to someone, on a bicycle and they're getting ready to take off and you grab the back wheel so they can't move? And that's what we are doing to our chakra system, to our spine, if you don't really get with the chakra thing. It's good to go to a chiropractor for adjustments, at least 1 or 2 times a month. And you will be surprised at how much mobility you've lost in your back over the years. Anybody want to comment on that? I feel like I'm having deja vu. Also today, Hawa, you want to come back in? Oh, check this one out. Emotionally, a blocked Muladhara may cause financial insecurity. Wow, I didn't know that. Poverty, mentality, stress, anxiety, and an overall lack of self-confidence. Energetically, it makes you feel lethargic, unproductive, stuck, and generally exhausted. Who knew? All you gotta do is get down on the floor and lay flat, pull your legs up, and you can release all that stuff instead of going to the psychiatrist.
You said a blocked what?
Where was I? A blocked Muladhara. That's your root chakra.
Root chakra, Muladhara.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're just introducing people to the Hindi terminology. And remember, go to your computer later on and type in PBS, India, History of India. The very first page tells you that the Indus Kush Valley was set up, established by the people who left what they call Africa and settled in that lower or southern Egypt and called it the Indus Kush Valley. My son-in-law is from India. He always likes to talk about the Aryans or somebody. And I said, boy, you African. he won't get an attitude with me. I said, you know you African. He said, I'm not no African. I said, how you get brown then? He said, and that's about all he could say. And the interesting thing is that he comes from that part of India that still has the direct descendant from the ancient African people. He comes from Gujarat. So I know that this is not by accident, you know. Nothing happens in our lives by accident.
That's right.
Anybody else want to comment on anything?
Well,
Yes, I do.
Yes, go ahead.
Shalom, shalom, everyone.
Shalom, shalom.
Oh, she's talking.
I'm so thankful for the people who I invited to come on the call and everything. First, I want to say thank you all. The second thing, I want to mention my uncle was he was not only a regular chiropractor, he was a spinal biomechanical engineer chiropractor. He was the first Black chiropractor in the whole state of Virginia, and the only spinal biomechanical engineer chiropractor. And so, as Mama Ayaba was mentioning about your body and getting a chiropractic adjustment, it is important because your nervous system is located in your spine, and everything that has to do with the function of your body has something to do with your nervous system. Your nervous system has something to do with everything that functions in your body, even if it's a foot pain or ankle pain, or even if it's something like your arm hurt, your elbow hurt. My brother, he was here from Atlanta, Georgia visiting, and he was complaining about his arm hurting. And my uncle said, go ahead in the other room, let me adjust that. Let me adjust you. He said, this don't have nothing to do with my back. He said, do I teach you how to be a lawyer? Because he said, well, then don't tell me how to be a doctor, you know? And so he went in there, he adjusted his back, and my brother never had no more arm pain. So
Yep.
I just want to share that with you. I also came in there limping, thinking that I had hurt my ankle, I sprung my ankle. I didn't know what I had did. And come to find out, it was from my back.
From your
So as
back.
I started dancing. I just want to share that with that is a real true story. Just if you have menstrual cramps, same thing. It will align your body because your chakras are very important. That chi is very important to flow through the body. You have to have that chi flowing through the body. So it opens it up. And last thing I'm gonna say, I went to the hospital for chest pain. My doctor sent me and put me in the hospital. Never been in the hospital before. And they was doping me up with morphine. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I said, stop. We're not going there. I said, I got to get out of here. And they start coming there with, want to take blood from me. I said, wait a minute. Tell Draper the blood bank is closed. You're not getting more blood from me. I'm getting out. I said,
The blood bank is closed.
I said, I'm getting out here the first thing this morning because he checked me in on a Friday. So I was there for the weekend. I said, this doctor is not here by Monday. I'm letting y'all know I'm out of here. I called my uncle at that particular time. He done made his transition, by the way. You know, Most High, bless his spirit. Anyway, as far as he, thank you, wow. As far as he was concerned, he told me bring all my files. So I always tell people, every time you go to the hospital, those are your files. Do not sign don't sign out until you got the CD wrong, the CD, as well as the file. Because they're going to say, oh, I gave you the file. That's on a piece of paper. You want the CD, which shows all your body, your skeletons, everything. All your whole bones, whole everything, the x-rays, everything that he have done for you. MRIs, you want to get that. Let them know that you want that before, so that when you don't have to go back and go through all this rigmarole, got to go to the county office and all that stuff. Get that before you leave the emergency room. And I'm telling you, he told me to get everything before I left, and that's what I did. He said, bring it to him. Do you know the chest pains was coming from a bone that was sticking out? He told me going there, he said, bring me those. He said, look, I'm going to show you this. He showed me on the file where I was in there. I was feeling bad. He said, I went from bad to worse while I was in the hospital just for the weekend. And so he said, I want to show you this. And then go and take your clothes on. Let me take an x-ray. And all it was a bone that was sticking out and, you know, just out of place, you know, a bone pinch nerve.
Misaligned, just disaligned.
That's it. Blood pressure, all my blood pressure went down. I had high blood pressure. Everything went down just from adjustment. So
that body went into that fight flight mode. That's the root chakra.
There you go. So that's all it was. So I always tell people, if you got high blood pressure, go see a chiropractor. Or you know, if you think you have a pain that's in the heart or whatever, get a chiropractor. It really does work, but you have to get a good chiropractor. If you can get a Pettibone chiropractor, that's even better. Ashe.
Ashe.
They used to call chiropractors. They used to say they weren't doctors back in the day.
Yeah, they used to say quack medicine.
I started my daughter on chiropractic treatments from the time she was born. After that first 30 days, when you come out the house, well, I know y'all don't practice that no more. But that took my daughter, and she's been going ever since. She's taken her children too. I fell down a flight of steps one time, and he's Dr. Hall, who's also my cousin, like Empress Kamaria is. And he said my spine had been knocked out about 80 degrees. I said, well, I shouldn't be walking in that case. And he laughed, and he did his adjustment. He said, well, I can't get it back all the way. Then here I go a couple of years later and fall down the steps again. Wearing them crazy shoes. That's why I don't wear them crazy shoes no more. And he said, oh, well, that was a good fall. Now your spine is straight again.
Knocked it back in place.
Knocked it back in place.
Mama Ayaba, we have, I hope the brother is still here.
Yeah, our guest.
Yeah, Brother Rashidi, who lectures a lot of the African presence in India. If you'd like to share a little bit with us, since Mama was talking.
Yeah, do that, please.
Please come on and share.
Where is he?
I don't know. He typed in the.
I put in the link because Mama Yaba mentioned Asia. And so if you want to have knowledge of the African origin of Asia, go to Runoko Rashidi.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
Oh,
That's true. I have his book.
Definitely.
Yeah, I have
He
his book.
spent time showing the African origin of China, African origin of India. So
He
Runoko
showed
Rashidi.
Africa everywhere. Yeah, I have his book.
African origin of Europe.
Yeah.
You all know that though. So you gotta look that up.
Anybody out here have not heard of Baba Runoko Rashidi? Well, y'all need to get him, put him in your library.
Yeah.
Teach all the young people.
Allison says she got to go.
Oh, Allison, when you come back and sing with us? We're getting ready to talk about polygamy now.
Oh, that's what amazing. Oh my God, thank you.
Oh, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna switch over to the polygamy. And the way we're gonna do the polygamy, if you have questions, I will answer them to the best of my ability. I was in a polygamous household for quite a few years. I had 3 co-wives. But fortunately for all of us, we were all friends for at least 10 years before that even happened. So I ended up there because my mother prayed that I would get pregnant before she died. And the man I was married to was in love with him since I was 14 years old, but he could not create children. So as soon as I joined the polygamous household with my sisters and the brother, my husband, I was pregnant immediately. So a lot of things happen to us and we think it's of our doing, but it's the doing of the spiritual realm. And in this case, my mom. So anybody starting with questions? Anybody got a question? Let's get the questions off the table. Y'all ain't scared, is you?
How is it being in a polygamous household?
For me, I think it's the best way to live. Number one, if you have children, you have built-in babysitter. Number two, you always have a sister. You always have a sister. And the relationship is not about him and the wives. The relationship is you and your sisters. As a matter of fact, a lot of time in the beginning months, the first 3 months, he was hardly there. It was our bonding time. And believe you me, if the brother is spot on, He knows whether you're bonding or not. You can't fake it.
So the sisters pick each other. The first wife.
They didn't pick each other.
No, I'm just saying, no, oh, okay.
Well, they picked me, but the first sister, she didn't pick the second or the third.
Oh.
The second and third got kicked out because they were selfish. They thought they were queens that they lay up in the bed all day and do nothing. The first wife, she never complained. She never said a word. She just kept doing her work. And one day the husband came home and that girl was laying up in the bed. He told his first wife, you go ahead on to the store, do whatever shopping you gotta do. When she came back, that girl was gone. See, polygamy is not a game. It's like running a business. And each person comes to the table with talents, their own talent. My talent was teaching. And so I was given the job of teaching all the children, which there were quite a few. He didn't assign me to the job. You just naturally fall into what it is you do best. I can't tell you how that happened. Also, in our polygamous household, our brother was like a priest. So there were times where a couple of weeks out of the month, he left involvement with all the sisters. And he stayed in his room meditating, reading, studying, whatever else he was doing in there. But we weren't allowed in there. We didn't go in there. The only one who went in there was the first wife. And she went to carry his food and came right on back out. Then after those 2 weeks were finished, then he rejoined the family. So it depends. In a Muslim, I don't know about all the Muslims' household, but in some of the traditional Muslim household, the man is permitted to have 4 wives, but only if he can take care of them. And each wife has a position of things that she does. It's been a while now, but I believe the first wife brought information to him because your man has got to stay on top of the community and public events. When he goes to speak or hang out with other men, he has to come tall. He's got to know. He has to be a knowledgeable man. And that's part of the pride that the women had with their husbands. What else? Then you have another wife, I'm not sure which number it is, but she brings in information about diet, nutrition, how to take care of the children, how to take care of the family. The third wife, she has another position. And then the fourth wife might be the person who does the business. In other words, I met a polygamous woman who came from Africa.
3 translation capsules. Do you want to use iTranslate, Bixby Translation, or my Japanese dish?
Anyway, I don't know where that came from. And she traveled. She was the salesperson, the marketing woman. And I said, how do you stand to leave the family that long? She said, this is what I do. This is my duty. This is my responsibility. So it depends. Some people, there was a policeman in New York. I don't guess he called himself practicing polygamy, but he was. And he had 2 families. They didn't know that happened until his funeral. And at his funeral, all the women showed up. It was 2 women and all 16 children. So one of the good things in my person for polygamy for me was the living truth. That you all have heard me say that. I'm always say that. I can't tell somebody else, don't be a jealous person, and I'm jealous. I can't tell someone, don't get angry, don't be angry, don't let people upset you, and I let people upset me. In my way of thinking, that does not compute. Some people say, oh, you're being a hypocrite. I'm not into all of the titles. I'm into the reality of truth. How does the reality of truth look? You live the word. So if the word says to be a forgiving person, then that's what you be. What's so hard about that? Our conditioning growing up under these false teachers, as you can tell by Donald Trump being the example of the culmination of all of that energy that they have. And so you got to see it like it is. We had a lot of fun by doing, like what I loved also about it is that you know your place. So let's say if the one sister and the brother were having words, like not argument, there was no arguing, trust me. But there might be a time when you felt one way about something and he felt another way. Well, guess what the rest of the sisters did? Stayed out of it. It wasn't between anyone but him and that wife. And I learned from that to stay out of a lot of stuff that didn't have nothing to do with me, out in the world, out in life. I said, wait a minute, that ain't got nothing to do with me. There was a story, a movie I saw many years ago. This woman was riding her little grandchild across the plantation. And the little girl said, Mama, they're fighting over there. And the grandma looked at the little girl and said, that's white folk business. That ain't got nothing to do with you. You look ahead. Because oftentimes this society manipulates you to participate in things that's going on. Like, I don't look at that January 6th thing every day, but I heard this guy last night in answering the question, oh, there she is, that pretty girl. You letting us see your face today? Thank you. Every flower counts. So he was saying how he got swept up in this thing with Donald Trump and how he got a lot of his influence from the media. And that's how he ended up there. So for me, I said, that doesn't have nothing to do with me. So I don't participate in all that stuff. But I'm here to participate with the Elizabeth. So I chose to do that. Yes, Hawa.
When I was in Senegal and we went off the grid and we had met a family and the guy took us to his compound or his home, and the way it was set up, he had 2 wives and he had his own place, and each wife had their compound or their home. Then he had another home that was built. It was like creating his own little village. He had another home that was built for his mother. But they would come out into the common area because most of the living is done outside. But in the evening, they would go to their own units or their own little compound, and they set it up and decorated however they wanted to. And even I just thought it was just wonderful because we got to peek in at his mother, and he had built her a place as well. Was this here in the US?
Yeah, it was in Brooklyn and Florida, where we live.
Okay. Did you live all together or did you have your own?
We lived all together. We all had our own rooms. And he had a date night. So when your night came, you went out with him, and that was, your date with him. Now, one time there was a conflict. So you got to understand, when you're in this polygamous situation, it's no different than living with your own sisters, with your daddy as the head of the household. That's the problem that people have. Like, I may as well make it real. I asked my mother, I said, Mama, could you live in a polygamous relationship? She said, no, I ain't sharing my husband with nobody. I said, why not? I thought you said you love the Lord and you love your brothers and sisters. She said, well, I not like that. I said, oh, you mean you don't want to share his penis? And she said, girl. I said, well, let's get down to the reality of it. So in a polygamous household, it's no different than living with your father, except for that point, when you have an intimate side of the relationship. That's not where the focus is. The focus is on the family. The intimacy that takes place might happen twice a month, might happen once a month, might not happen at all in a month. So that was not the focus of the polygamous household. The focus was building the family, building the business, setting standards for the children, creating, we had homeschooling and I was a teacher for that, but creating an environment in which the children felt free to say what was on their mind. Learning about different cultures and understanding that you're not the only polygamous household in the world, that you may not have many friends or family members who do it, but there are other people around the world who live that way. It's more peaceful. Your man is always at home. It's like, I don't know, it's highly creative. So like you have your own room, you do whatever you want to do in there. And when you come out into the common area, that's where you will see representation of all of us.
Can you see yourself living like that? I can see myself because like you said, it's a business.
Yes,
it's like in order to grow, you can't do it alone.
Nope.
You know, you have your sisters to rely on, your sister wives to rely on. It's really for them. You know, it's really for the making of the household.
And if you have jealousy, I asked my African culture teacher, Baba Shangi Razaki Babatona, I said, what is jealousy? Because I had it. I wanted to get it out. And he said, jealousy is fear. And I said, I could see that. He said, see, during the enslavement period, a Black woman didn't know whether she was gonna wake up the next day and her husband be there. He might have been taken out to another plantation during the night. Or she might get up in the morning and see his body hanging from a tree.
Inbred fear.
Yes, inbred by centuries. Remember we had a talk the other day about how the muscles have memory.
Yes.
Your brain is a muscle. You know, your heart is a muscle. And we just learned about the root chakra and how when that's damaged or not properly lined up, you have the flight and fear response. So when I was in a monogamous relationship, the husband I had was someone I grew up with. He went to Vietnam. And when he came back, somebody else came back. And so he had his own emotional issues that I, of course, did not know anything about. I made him sit down and I ain't gonna say I made him, but I asked him to sit down and talk to me about what happened in Vietnam. And he said one morning after gunfight in the night, and he went outside, they all went outside to see the damage that had been done. And the area was filled with children that they had killed. Because in the dark, you don't know who you're shooting at. So I'm sure that affected him in some way. And he was always agitated, always had to go out and leave home. And of course, in the process, he had picked up a couple of girlfriends. But we couldn't talk about that. It was too emotional for him and for me, because like the root chakra thing, I had a trust issue now. I didn't feel like I could trust him, which means I could not believe him. Whatever he had to say had to be a lie. And I'm kind of smart. And he came home one night with those bruises on his neck. And the story he told me, I had to laugh. It didn't make any sense. But over time, as we became more and more exposed to African lifestyle, we opted to do some have polygamy in our household. But he was not good at it. He was not good at it for probably all the reasons he had been damaged in his life. he didn't grow up with sisters and brothers. He grew up by himself. So he did not know the relationship between siblings. You know how you take my drink and I said, girl, you took my drink, that's my drink. They don't have your name on it. And she said, they didn't have your name on it either. Well, we were just sparring. We weren't angry. And he thought that was, we were fussing. So he added fuel to the fire, so he thought. But she came from a large family, about 8 sisters and brothers. So she didn't buy into it. And I came from a large family, extended family of cousins. So I didn't buy into it. And after he left, she and I sat down and had a talk about it. And I kind of explained to her where he was the only child and da-da-da. So if you do engage in a polygamous relationship, that man has to have very high character. He has to be a problem solver. He has to be patient.
He have to know how to run his business.
Some kind of relationship with God. All of that's in there. And if he's not going to practice it like in like African culture, like Kevin Wesley on what's that thing? Facebook. He practices polygamy. He has 2 wives. And it looks like he's good at it. But they're not coming from the African cultural perspective. So I understand somebody was telling me that a lot of that is going on. They call it poly something.
Yeah.
I don't know what their name is, but there are a lot of people out here now, young people, who are calling themselves being poly couples. However, they also, some of them are engaged in sharing their wives or their husbands. We didn't do nothing. We felt like we were building an African cultural movement, so to speak.
Your community, your village.
African cultural community. And by the way, there is an African cultural community in South Carolina in an area called Beaufort. It's called Oyotunji Village. Oyotunji Village is now going on 50 years old. If you've never been there, owe yourself a treat. Take your husband, your mate, whoever you got.
It's off the beaten path.
And going down there to Oyotunji Village. You can look it up on the computer too. Ma'am, what'd you say, Hawa?
No, I just said it's off the beaten path. It's like a nation within this nation, its own little society in a sense. I had the honor and pleasure of spending and camping out there for like 4 days, just to watch their community and their village and how they had their everybody had their little responsibility. Early in the morning, someone is sweeping. And it was so at peace and unity. I say it was off the beaten path of all the chaos and nonsense.
And it's the truth, it is. I used to take our stair down there when she was a little girl for 2 weeks every summer so that she could be somewhere where she didn't have to be afraid. She could go away from me all day long. I wasn't worried about her.
Because somebody's going to watch her. There's eyes everywhere that take care of each other. It's just a whole different lifestyle or way of
it's the African traditional lifestyle. They built all of those dwellings down there. The king had 47 wives. Those 47 wives were not all his intimate wives. Quite a few of those wives were there learning how to be a wife. There was no physical contact with them. They were learning how to serve. I think I told you all earlier in the game that I had a program called, what's the thing? I forgot what the name of my own program, but it was so long ago. Oh, here it is. Tea with Ayaba. And in Tea with Ayaba, the experience was to learn how to serve. And the second experience was learn how to receive. And in a polygamous household, a lot of serving and receiving goes on. So when you learn how to serve, you know you're gonna be very meticulous about the tea, the lemon, the sugar, or not sugar, we don't use sugar, but honey, or whatever kind of sweetener you use, or no sweetener at all. But in the process of serving, you ask, would you like some lemon? You don't just go squeezing lemon in, even if you know the person likes lemon. Maybe they don't want lemon that day. You can't assume that they do. Would you like sassafras tea or lemon tea or peppermint tea? You ask. That's part of serving, is asking, what would you like? And they will tell you, and you would do whatever it is, and then you would pass it to them, and they would receive it. And in receiving it, they would say, well, thank you very much. And then they taste it and they say, oh, this really tastes good. You did a wonderful job. You must be an expert tea maker. You say something complimentary to the person. You don't just make the tea and go here, and you walk away and they drink the tea. It's a ritual, it's a ceremony. You want to say something, Sister Evelyn?
Yeah, thank you for explaining it to me, because all the misinformation, because that's why I never grew up thinking I wanted to be someone's wife. Never,
Wow.
ever.
Wow.
It never crossed my mind. You know, the house and the white picket fence was something beyond me. I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
And I have never been in a relationship because but I could do that. I could be in a supportive community,
yeah,
where I had my space to do my thing, because that's what I feel I'm creating for my life now, is that when I'm here at the house, that I have my space to create and I have my time, and you know, I can be by myself. But I really enjoyed being with my women friends in the park a couple of weeks ago, just being and creating and talking. And oh my God, we had a videographer there. So I got to find out when we can have that video so y'all can see, because it was just, yeah, I could do that. I could do it if it was like that.
And your description you just gave, that's exactly how it is. That's why I say some sisters out here today who think they're gay, they don't even know that they're reliving some of the experiences, past life, where they were so close to other women. Women's society taught us not only how to cook, sew, grow our garden, raise our children, but they taught you how to love your man, how to make love with your man. Even among the Muslim sisters, the traditional Muslim sisters, they have a dance called the Dance of the Seven Veils. And when they dance, the man removes one veil at a time until he gets to that final veil, which covers her face, and he removes it, and it's on. See, so, but when they come out in the world, look how they look. Everybody's so cultural and know how to walk, talk with each other and all that kind of stuff.
Totally covered.
But you have to ask yourself, they must be doing something. They got 9 kids. Yes, yes.
I was just saying, Mama Ayaba, maybe I don't know if you've muted one of your mics if you have 2 devices open. Somebody has an echo. I don't know who it is.
It's me, because let me see if I can use.
Yeah, just mute one of, not mute, but turn off the volume for the computer or the phone. Either one.
Say something.
Testing,
Okay.
1, 2. Yep, and then you want to get the echo. No, I didn't mean to say mute. I meant to say turn off the volume. You know your volume button. Now we can't hear you. One, unmute, put the mute back, unmute the thing.
Mute the computer.
All right.
And mute the device that you're on. Hit the little volume button and turn it off, and that'll cancel the echo.
Well, actually, this is muted too.
No, not mute. Leave it on mute. Turn the volume off on one device. There, now I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
Yes,
There
that's
you
good.
go.
Girl,
I
you
do
know
it a
about
lot. That's how I know.
everything.
We
You
also,
know about everything. I don't care who program it is. Head Ruth knows something about it. I love that girl.
That's because I didn't did it already. I used to be the echo where I was like, oh no, I got to get it together. But thank you.
Thank
we
you.
also have Star and Empress. So Star, you
Okay.
want to chime in,
All right.
and then Empress?
Okay, my question is, when you were in that relationship, did you ever have the experience of helping to choose another wife?
Yes.
No, actually, I was the last one.
Oh, okay.
I did not. But I knew some sisters from Nigeria, and I know about them doing that because they asked me, would I be their wife? After I finished the show, all three of these girls from Nigeria came up to the stage and invited me to the table. So I came up to the table and sat with them, and they said, look, we want you to be our co-wife. We want you to be, actually they said, we want you to be our wife. We want you to marry our husband. I said, what? Why? And they said, because you make a great sister co-wife for us. You got a nice spirit, you're talented, you look good. And they were just carrying on. They want to take me home to their husband.
Have you heard of lower chakra energy? We can't get to that state until you bust up that energy. And like you said, that first chakra, your fear, not trusting. It's like work has to be done in the root chakra, the lower chakra, before you can even think about committing yourself to a relationship like that.
Well, one thing about the brother, it's echoing again. Well, one thing about the brother, he was very sensitive to all of our needs. Like when he would call in, after he got to work and he would call, he spoke to the first wife first, the second wife second, the third wife third, and the fourth wife fourth. You're gonna be sit up there and have an attitude because he didn't speak to you first. Well, I mean, if anybody did, well, nobody did that. But I'm sure that if anybody were to do that, he would have shown them where the door was. Because the whole thing is love. It's all about love. Whether you with a co-wife or just a person who has that love in your spirit. Yes, yes, Empress Kamarie. Kamarie, you want to say something?
Yes, I do. Thank you. All right. Okay. First of all, I want to thank you for sharing this wonderful information. I know I brought quite a few people on that definitely want to know all the difference between polygyny, polygamy, monogamous, and even all the way to concubine. I would like for you to share that. Also, what happened in your relationship where you are not there right now. For those who did not hear this, I know that Elizabeth knows about it, but if you can explain that. And last is that Elijah Muhammad, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he talked about, and Farrakhan did too, but he got it from Honorable Elijah Muhammad, talked about how we should bring in, when we women in our universe, we need to be able to program, that man needs to program his sperm. And the woman programs her womb, the world, this universe, because you want to bring on prophets and gods into this world. And that's not what we are doing. We are in energy, and we bring on this energy. So even if we don't have no children, we are taking on that energy into our universe. So I would love for you to touch on that. I know, cousin, Mama Ayaba, I know that you are definitely familiar with all of that. So I would love for you to share if you have time. Yeah.
Well, I don't know which one you want me to start with first. But yeah, there are people, there are different types of ways that people brother Al Kebulan.
You can answer a question first. Go ahead.
Sure. Answer the question first.
Answer her. You answer her, then I'll come.
Oh, okay, all right. Like I said, the brother has to have certain things together in his life and in his own mind. And my daughter's father was superb at this. Now, the reason I'm not still in the household with him was because I was having an experience every month during the time when I would normally have my period. I was crying, boo-hooing and crying. I mean, it was rough. And by him being a spiritual guy, I asked him, what is wrong with me? And he said, you need to know that. You need to know what's wrong with you. I said, but I don't. So after the third month of that, I said, I think I need to go home to visit my mother. And he reasoned with me. He said, well, you know, I don't want the other girls to think that they can just jump up and leave anytime they want to, because that'll break up the flow of our family and what we need to have done. And although I understood what he said, there was something that's pulling at me. I had to go see my mother. And I said, I know what you mean, and I appreciate it, but I really need to go see my mother. And he said, okay, go for 2 weeks. Can you go for 2 weeks? I said, yeah, I can go for 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, I still didn't want to leave. No, I don't know why. I didn't know why at the time. And he said, well, we can't run this family like that. So I suggest you stay. And I said, well, you really don't know what you're doing. Because he was my friend. We were friends for over 10 years, so I could talk to him. We weren't having an argument. I said, you don't understand what you're doing, making that decision. So I said, okay, and I'll stay. And he would call me once a month, check on me and stuff. So my daughter was born September 2nd, and my mother passed away October the 11th. So that's when I realized why I was there, because my mom was leaving. Anyway, after I came home and I was in the kitchen one night eating pancakes about 2 in the morning, my mom came in the kitchen and she said, are you pregnant? And I wanted to say, no, I ain't pregnant, and let her wait till she see the belly, but I couldn't hold myself. I was laughing. I said, yeah, I'm pregnant. Why you ask? She said, oh, thank God. I prayed for this. I wanted you to have a baby before I leave this world. I didn't want to leave you in this world by yourself. I said, you prayed? Because I had gone to the Babalawo, the spiritual consultant in the Yoruba system, and I asked him, why am I pregnant at 37? I want to do my music. And he said, you had nothing to do with this. This was the ancestors. The ancestors chose him to be the father of your child. Y'all don't have no love. Y'all not in love. And I started to lie. I said, yes, I do. He said, don't even go there. It's right here in these shells. That's not existing. Y'all are friends. Y'all will always be friends. But the ancestors wanted to come through this man to you so they could come back into this life. And that day, I learned the power of mothers. And I learned that we do not even use 1/10 of our powers. When my grandmother and her sister passed away, when my grandmother passed away, she always used to tell us, I pray for every one of y'all every night. And she had over 100 grandkids. She said, I call off their names, every one of them, every night before I go to bed, and ask God to take care of them. And when she left here, you knew that prayer was gone. They started acting crazy. Then my Aunt Macy passed. That was her sister. And our Mason used to tell me, I pray for all my nieces and nephews and my grandchildren. You know, I call off all their names every night. And then she left. And that was the first time in our family that they went to jail. Them brothers was going to jail left and right for stupidness. So I know those prayers count for something. So that's basically the story. My daughter's father and I, we're still very close. He and my daughter are close. And, you know, he always said, I never seen nobody like you. I said, well, you never will. He said, all of those sisters that were my wives, you're the only one that still sticks close to me. I said, because I love you. You're my brother, you know, and you did a good job. It wasn't his fault that the women did the crazy things they did. Like one girl, she had 5 kids by him. You think I'm gonna leave? If I had 5 kids, I ain't going nowhere. But she left and went back to New York because she couldn't pull her share of the weight. And the other girls worked hard. When I say they worked hard, they ran a store. Those girls made things to go in the store. One of the sisters was the one who ordered everything. The other sister was the one who kept the store beautiful and decorated. Everybody had played their part. But the other sister, I guess she couldn't figure out where she fit in. So she went back. Now that hurt him. I'm glad I ain't no man. I don't think I could do that because it hurts. Women don't understand. And I have this theory that men hurt far deeper than women do. Oh, women cry and go into little depressed states. But for a man, I let the man speak on that.
He holds it. He holds it. He covers it. But it hurts. I just said he holds it deep down and it's stored in his DNA and it's stored in his muscle. He holds it. He feels it, but he hides it to carry on.
Yeah, that's right. You're right about that. So yeah, if I had
the brother, he let him speak.
Yeah, I figure I want to be passive, but in order for this to be a fruitful discussion, you got to hear the male side of the perspective.
Yes. Can we see you?
And I agree with, say it again?
Turn your video on, brother.
Well, see, I just got up this morning. Y'all been up all night long. I just getting up. All right, from an elder perspective, not just a brother, I'm an elder. And you have another brothers on this panel whose position may be different from mine. I'm into monogamy and I'm not against polygamy, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm in for monogamy. You have 1 million sperms vying for 1 egg, 1 million sperms vying for 1 egg, but she only wants 1. And once that 1 gets in, she shuts all the others out. How that is done, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but she shuts all out. That means you are truly 1 in 1 million. So from a science perspective, that's why I'm for monogamy. I'm not against polygamy. It's my understanding it was founded by women. The problem I have is a lot of men is pushing it. It was founded because it was not a form of marriage, my understanding. It was based on a social issue. There's more men than women. We talk about mathematics now. If it's 10 women to 1 man, there's no way in world everybody's going to have get married. The mathematics now, right? It can't compute. In Europe, said kill some of the women. You know what I mean? All right. So what happened was a lot of times during war, and there's a shortage of men. Why are there a shortage of men? Incarceration, police brutality, homosexuality, interracial marriage. There's about 7 reasons why there's a shortage of men. So there's not enough men. So these women did not want to be labeled negatively. They wanted to be protected, because if you're a prostitute or whatever, right, you could be in danger. They want to be protected, have a home. And these men were supposed to provide for these women equally. It wasn't supposed to be one woman have this and the other person living in a shack. I don't want to live. It wasn't supposed to be that way. So you also have on the flip side is polyandry. where women had more than one husband. Some of these men today wouldn't advocate, would be advocates of that. You know what I mean? So it's not balanced. It's not balanced. So if it's done in a proper way, and as my understanding, if you kind of research it, it's women that found it. So maybe Mama Ayaba can speak to that. If women found it, why is these men pushing it? And so it's supposed to be equal. And it's also a social issue. So I have no problem with it. And it's just not, not for me. If I find someone I like and we get along fine. And if not, then sever the relationship and go on. But it's some elements that's supposed to be in there that's not missing. And one thing, if you have a love relationship, one thing has to be in is being unselfish, not selfish. And some of these men just right out selfish. I'm sure not the ones that in the circles of these sisters on this panel who may be in a political relationship, but all the men aren't practicing the way it should be practicing. Some got other intentions in mind. And so I know instances in a political relationship where one woman has a house, other one doesn't have anything at all. So it wasn't done in the proper manner. So that's my side of that. And then if a man wants to speak, I think if you can have an open discussion. And first of all, I believe women is a center principality. I believe, and we look at science, it starts with the woman. Your body correlates with the moon cycle. So everything starts with the woman. Matter of fact, I believe that's my daddy. I don't know. I believe he's my daddy. I know that's my mama, because she got one eyewitness, the doctor. Daddy got to go to mama to find out if he the daddy. I mean, so I just wrote a book, and in my book, I put women on top. And I'm glad that we have a forum with women. And I was disappointed because I'm on a Zoom conference a lot and I'm on a man. So I was glad that a brother did so. So maybe somebody can comment on some of the things I said, but I don't want to confuse what I'm saying. I'm not against polygamy. My point is that I'm into monogamy. And if it was founded by women and the women were pushed it because there's more women than men, and they didn't want to be stereotyped and they didn't want to be in danger. So it's supposed to be a wholesome type of thing. But everything I hear about is the men doing it for selfish means. And I don't think, I'm not saying that the men that these sisters have come in contact with have doing it for selfish means, but some of these men are.
You're talking about here in the US, Western society?
You probably right. Yeah, they're probably doing it, not having a cultural value intact when they're doing it. So yeah, I got you. I agree wholeheartedly.
See, I'd be in trouble because, well, I guess depending on, what your situation, I'm a very affectionate person. And so I touch my husband all the time. I mean, we could be out in public and passing each other and I'm gonna touch where probably, you're hoping nobody see, but you don't care because that's my husband. And so I would be, but if that, because if you're with a person that doesn't allow that, then you just don't do that, or if that's the basic rule. And then I was always wondering, there's a family here, actually, the man and the first wife. Oh, I know you sisters know who I'm talking about, because she was a queen.
The Mama Baba Kalinde.
Yeah.
Mama Jendai and Mama Ayana.
Yeah, was it only the two?
It was other wives.
Yeah, but they carried themselves as queens. I mean, like royalty. And I never knew what that relationship, was. It never had anything negative to say about it, but I was always wondering how they worked the household. How did one, if, but Mama Ayaba said that they had a particular time that you go in with the man. And so I'm wondering, you know, do they join in bed together sometimes? Or if you're with a brother that's kind of freaky, you know, and there's
Why does that have to be freaky?
wait a minute. I was about to qualify that. There's nothing wrong with freaky. There's nothing wrong with freaky. You know,
I'm messing with you.
I do
I'm
want to
messing with you, Mama.
but you know, in other words, maybe they even chose the person without, you know, for selfish reasons and stuff like that. And Mama, you had a wonderful relationship, it seems, you know, but I can't believe that they're all like that, you know.
Well, look, it's like the brother said, in a cultural lifestyle,
yeah,
it's so different. I mean,
It's
I live
different.
Babylon and I live culture. And if I had to choose between the two, I'd take culture every time.
Yeah, I'll take
Because I
culture.
need to know what's right. I need to know what's wrong.
yeah.
I need to know how far can I go with something. I need that information. The
Got
thing that happened growing up in America, in the United States, I mean, that I didn't know my place. In other words, I didn't know how far I could go on something. I might open my mouth as I like to talk, and I might spit out something that I should not have said, but I didn't know I should not have said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Culturally speaking, rituals, well, excuse me, culturally speaking, sex is a ritual. You know, it was something performed for not just pleasure, for duty as well. And so when
what
you
you
say
mean by duty?
To reproduce, to it's a way of cleansing and
It's a way of
connecting.
having fun.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a
Fun is
duty
a
too.
ritual too.
That's a duty too. And so I guess when you say that they all get into bed at the same time, I guess that's my question to you too.
We didn't do that.
I didn't think so. I wanted you to
This
say
brother
that
was not
because
gonna have that.
culturally, it wasn't. When I was in Senegal and I talked with the brother and his wives, it was like, what? This is my time and respect with her. This is my time and respect with her. This is my time to be with her and her needs. It wasn't all, let's just all get into bed together. That's what they're doing with this new stuff now. That is totally not culture. That's just some made up new flingy dingy thing that's happening.
Yeah.
It's not
No,
culture.
listen, things filter down in the world.
Filter
Okay.
to the
And
left.
one
to
of
the
the
Lord.
things, excuse me, one of the things that filtered down came from that organization out there in Hollywood, California.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I forget the name of it. You know the name of it? Anyway, they
No,
did.
but I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? And that was what, 30 years ago? They were talking about, I think it was more like 30 some years ago. And they were swapping wives and then of course with the hippie era, they called it free love. That had nothing to do with us. Nothing. So association, they said, brings on assimilation.
Yeah.
So we've assimilated certain ways in this culture in the ununited States. And that has nothing to do with our way of living, our way of thinking, our ancestry, none of that. For example, if you were a jealous girl and your man did not have sensitivity to your needs, you'd be in trouble. But if you were a jealous girl and your man had sensitivity to your needs, he will help you work that out of you because he knows that it only has to do with fear, insecurity, doubt, not trusting him. In African, well, I don't know, I shouldn't say that. In the cultural world, not only Africa, but when I look and study the cultures all around the world, I see so many similarities. I said, we're so much alike. Why are we having this problem? You know, when I say similarities, things like, for example, in Kenya, understand I never lived there, so I'm sharing with you things I have read, studied, or talked to someone about. When a man has a son, when a woman has a son with this guy, the uncle raises the son, not the father. And I said, you know, that makes all the sense in the world, because sometimes a father and son will butt heads. Maybe it's a genetic thing, maybe it's an emotional thing, maybe it's a reincarnation thing, but a lot of times a man and his son will butt heads, but very seldom will the son butt heads with his uncle. See? And so the uncle, it doesn't mean you don't know that's your father. You know that's your father, and you go stay with him sometimes, but your basic living life is with your uncle, who teaches you the rules, who teaches you the way you're supposed to carry yourself. Culture gives you all of that. For example, in Nigeria, I don't know what they do today, but they probably still do it. When a child wants to speak, in Ghana too, when a child wants to come in the room and speak, and the room is adults, that child has to stop at the doorway and bend over like that and hit his head 1, 2, 3 to say, may I come in? Everything isn't taught like here in America, in the United States. So the elder in the room will say this or will say that. So you already know you can come in or you can't come in. If the elder does like that, you don't go away mad. You sit down in the doorway and wait for your time to come into the room. That's why even to this day, when people go to Africa, my nephew just came back and he was telling us all about, if you think you're gonna have an audience with the king or with the chief, and you going in at 3 o'clock, coming out at 4, you can forget it. They don't operate on clock time.
We got a
We
hand
don't
up.
either.
We got a hand up,
make
Mom.
ourselves do it. We've adapted to it, but we don't operate on clock time. And what they call CP time, that's no bad thing. That means you're operating on spiritual time. You're operating on
That's
energy
right.
time.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? So these are cultural things.
Ma, we got a hand up.
Where? Oh, yes. Brother, speak. Brother Malak, the what? I don't know how to pronounce all your name. You have a crown on. You have something to share with us? Go ahead.
Shalom, thank you.
Shalom.
It's King Dawad. I just wanted to contribute to the conversation. I heard something that spoke to me. And I'm a supporter of polygyny. My thoughts and my knowledge on it tends to derive from the Hebrew scriptures as well as the Bible. And so, at the pardon, they have some construction going on out here. But one thing I wanted to point out is that in this Western, some people call it Babylonian society, but in this Western world, it seems that the importance of duty and responsibility is sometimes overlooked or undermined, and that shouldn't be, because even in the word, in the book of Exodus, and some people would refer to it as the books of Moses or the Torah, it says specifically that if a man should take another wife, her duty of marriage, her raiment, and her food shall he not diminish.
Yeah.
And so that in itself speaks to the fact that there really is no room for selfishness and a man only thinking about himself. You know, a man should treat himself well, treat himself with love, but also treat his wife as well as he treats himself.
Yep.
And so that's one thing that I know is needed in our community, because a lot of young people in our community, or young-minded people, they just kind of tend to overlook that responsibility and duty part. But also, a lot of young people in our community, don't currently value marriage. And that's something that I know we can change for the better, but it's going to take some work and it's going to take some leadership from the men specifically, because that is one thing that this society has strategically done to tear down manhood as a way of tearing down the protection of our community. And so it's layered, it can be looked at as complex, but at the same time, I think it can be simplified. And I'm a solution-oriented person, so I have a tendency to reverse engineer things when solving. So I like to go to the root of where the issue started or may have come from, and then to kind of work it out that way. But it's very important that we build in our community and that we be fruitful and multiply, like the word says, because we have I have this theory and opinion that there's a lot of males in our community, but not enough men.
I say.
And and there's, you know, we have a large number of females as well, but we need more women. And you know, a male and a female, that is speaking to a gender. But when you talk about man and woman, now you're talking about a position. Now you're talking about a duty and responsibility that is has to be proven daily. And also we have to support each other in doing that, because there's a balance. And as a business owner personally, I comprehend that business ownership, whether it be this particular society or another society, business ownership is very much so a wartime situation. So, you know, a man goes out here and he has to overcome a lot of different aspects of the enemy coming against our community. And so that wartime energy that a king has, it needs to be balanced by the energy of a woman. And so that's something that we definitely have to continue teaching to our community, because as more people begin to seek out the truth and find the truth, they need direction. And so I appreciate you all for having this conversation and inviting me. And so, Dawada, thank you for that. I yield.
I spent a few years with a brother named Nabi Moshe, studying the Hebrew Israelite culture. Of course, I knew a lot about the scriptures before then, because growing up African-American, growing up a Negro, we had to know that book. And I make reference to it all the time. And one of the things that you're speaking to is the fact that we're not utilizing, how can I put this? The initiation system. I didn't just study with the brother. It was like a type of initiation. The same with the Yoruba people. It was an initiation. You didn't just walk up in there bringing your Babylon stuff. Even with the Rastafarians, when I was over there with them, every organization or every cultural family of people that I have been around, they had one thing in common. You were taught. You didn't just walk in and started doing stuff and taking over. I don't care if you got a PhD, you had to learn how to live in that system. And so one of the problems that we said 40 years ago that we were going to have, well, Lord, now it's 50, ain't it? 50 some years ago, that one thing we were going to have to deal with was religion, and how the Christian religion have taken our people somewhere. The religion hasn't, but the men who have propagated it and brought it back to us in this negative way is going to be a problem for us, because they look at things that people do in African culture or Native American culture, and they'll start saying, well, that's evil, that's against God, that's a sin, that's from the devil. I remember when they said meditation.
Yeah.
Was evil.
Yep.
And they were primarily coming from white Christians. It had nothing to do with us. When meditation came along, I was ready for that. Oh yeah, I can lay down and chill
All
out.
that was to control the people.
Well, we know that that's primarily what runs this situation here. But what I want to bring a point to is the process of initiation. Our boys, our males need to be initiated with males of enlightenment, males who understand the process. I have nephews, great nephews. Now I got great nephews. You know, who gonna teach these guys? My grandfather took his grandsons along with his sons down the country every November and taught them how to hunt. Today, he didn't put a rifle in their hand and say, here, just
Go
aim.
shoot. Mm-hmm.
You know, they had to learn how to clean that rifle. They had to learn how to store the rifle. They had to learn how to take care of the bullets and put them all in a special place, which is not with one another. The bullets was one place, the guns were another. And I mean, he taught them how to cook. He taught them how to make wine. He taught them how to make bread. Now, everybody didn't have a talent for it, but they couldn't say they didn't know how.
Mm-hmm.
And my other aunt, she had 7 sons. Those guys know how to do anything and everything that a woman supposed to know how to do in the house. They can cook, they can sew, they can bake, they can scrub, they do everything. They can wash clothes, separate them and iron them and put them away. These guys are like a dream come true. But what they don't have is the cultural arm of it. What does culture mean? Culture means your way of life, the way you live. So if you're supposed to honor your elders, like I was teaching somebody the other day, because you see somebody, dobale, which means lay on the ground at the feet of another person, they're not worshiping that person. They're honoring God that lives in that person, that dwells in that person. So the culture, the way of life speaks to what you believe or what you know in that case. I know that we are one with God. So this is our practice in our culture to approve and provide for you the opportunity to express what you know. On Fridays, I told y'all this before with the Hebrews, on Friday sundown until Saturday sundown. They don't mess with no electricity. They don't be listening to the radio and looking at the television. Everything goes off. Everything becomes organic. And the woman of the house lights that candle. So when the sun does complete its mission of going down, the light of the candle will be right there to continue to have light in the house, not just in the house, the light that's in your mind, the light that's in your heart, the light that's in your, oh, come on, y'all.
I hear you. I hear you.
If I just could have a million of us this stuff and live in it, you know, when people say, what the scripture say about gossiping? Gossiping is supposed to be evil, but people gossip all the freaking time. Always talking about somebody, always got something negative to say about somebody. Okay, if you're gonna say something negative, then come up with a solution for the positive. Okay, that's what a teacher does. That's what a spiritualist does. That's what all these people.
Right.
The culture is the key. Women that I know, all the quote unquote females, ought to be initiated into the women's society. I don't care which culture it is. All teachers basically the same thing, which is what? How to honor God, how to honor your man, how to honor your family, how to honor your culture.
How to honor yourself. Yes.
Well, that's all of it is yourself, because you already know that that's yourself. Yes. It's not like America where myself, yourself, his self, herself. It's only one self, and that self is God, whatever by whatever name, Allah, Yahweh, Yahweh, all these names. And then when they talk about Christ, Jesus Christ, they don't do no research. When I learned about the name, I look up everything, as y'all already know. So I looked up Jesus, and it couldn't be found until the 15th century, when the J came into existence over there in Europe. The sound might have been a J, but the J was not
it wasn't, yeah.
I got something. Just hold on. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Remember I told y'all.
I think you have one more hand up.
Who is that? You? Is
No,
that
someone
you?
else.
Okay, yes, whoever got their hand up, speak. I don't see a hand.
Well,
Pettigrew,
I want to say that it's 10.
Pettigrew, you had your hand up?
It's 10:33, Queens and
Oh.
Kings.
And Kings.
Yeah, and Kings. And out of respect for time, and I
Yeah.
think I'm supposed to be picking up Fauna, and
Okay.
we're trying to
Well,
connect.
thank you all for, this has been wonderful.
This
Thank you
has
for the
been-
dance.
Yeah.
Those who dance, we're gonna do this type of thing every Wednesday. We have a dance, of music from somebody's culture, and we're gonna dance and continue. So meanwhile, until next Wednesday, questions. You got questions, please write them down and come back with your questions. And if I can't answer it, I'm sure one of our guests can. And invite your brothers, invite, the brothers, because we need to hear from them.
Come with your tea and wear your orange.
Uh-oh. I love orange now, so
Yeah, next week we're gonna do the what? The solar plexus?
We're gonna do the the sacral chakra, the second chakra.
Saraswana.
Saraswana.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'll have it together next week.
Yeah, we had to put it in the dictionary and then let's say speak it, and so we can hear what.
That's what I need.
I love all of you.
Continue, is this conversation gonna be continued to next Wednesday?
Yes.
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 Yes. All right.
Thank you, Queens and Kings.
Yes, yes. All right, love yourself. Come on, give yourself a big hug. This week it's on and popping. Remember that on the 14th we have the back to school event. Back to school, that's getting book bags and all that kind of stuff. That'll be over at the shop, and then we will be at Mama Awa's home. So you can call me. I'm gonna put my number in there, so I'll know who is coming and who we need to. Oh no, we don't need to avoid anybody because we're all good. And then
Hey, Mama Jean house.
Yeah, I mean Sunday, it's open to all, so you can bring male and female, bring your people. We're gonna, have we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Mama, both of you, when are y'all leaving?
And me?
Yeah, you and Awa. What day are you leaving, going back? Will you be here Sunday? Let me just ask that.
Yeah, my intention is to be, Sunday is the day. I really do think I can be there by Sunday. Something is going on here in my apartment complex, and I have to be here for Friday. So other than that, I'm gonna fly out because I don't need to be on the train trying to get there.
That time. Yeah, right. And Mama Awa?
Well, I was following Mama's lead, but I'll be there. I'll get on the road early. I'll be there around 10, 11 Friday.
Okay.
When do you leave, Mama Awa?
Hold on.
When do you leave to go back?
Me, Ayaba, or Hawa?
Hawa.
Oh, when do I leave to return back to Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna stay, if Mama if Queen Ayaba's coming in and being Sunday, I'm just gonna play by ear.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna leave to go back right away. I'll probably hang out for about a week.
I'm looking forward to seeing y'all and giving y'all big hugs.
All right, let's bring it on. You know where I be, Mama Jean the Queen house. Yeah,
right.
We'll probably, we just play it by ear. I don't have I have to look at my calendar, but so far it's like Monday, Tuesday, I don't know, maybe Wednesday or so to get back on the road. But again, we'll play it by ear. Let me see how you can keep me. Can you keep me?
Thanks for everybody's input, the brothers, the sisters, everybody, everything you all said, and especially where's my doll making sister? You put the icing on the cake. You know who I'm talking about? The sister who make the dolls, and she had put on her red shirt, and she said, "I could live that life."
Oh, yeah, Evelyn, Mama Evelyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The African World Festival starts on Friday, is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So it's the whole weekend, this whole weekend coming up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll figure it out and get together and head down that way together, or to meet there together.
Yeah, I
Hey,
get to
let's
see
roll with
y'all's
divine
locks in
spirit.
person.
What'd you say, Star?
I get to see y'all's locks in person.
Oh,
I've seen Mama Hawa's. I'm looking forward to seeing Mama Ayaba's.
Mama Ayaba, are you flying straight into Detroit then?
I would probably have to do that.
Yeah.
See how it rolls out.
No, just fly straight on in.
Depends on depends on what I can get organized. The people that own this place, they coming in to inspect, and they got certain lists of things that we have to do. So it depends on how much of that I can get done before Friday. If I can get it done before she leaves, then I'll come.
Then come on, yes. Then come on, and we're rolling together.
I'll come to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
But make your flight.
Yeah, because you got
back from Indianapolis, so we can roll back together.
There you go.
We're just rolling by spirit.
Yeah.
You can organize all this all you want.
Yeah, just straight in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna use my organizational authority here. You come straight into Detroit. She'll be here already, and then you ride back with her.
Yes,
that'll
Mom.
make it all much easier and simpler and not worrisome to me. And I'm not a worrier, but I don't want to start on this weekend.
They don't make me worry about you now.
Okay. I love you all. And peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Grand day.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.